bearing in mind massive grains of salt in terms of speculation about what could be happening inside of Russia, the Chief Directorate of Intelligence of the Ministry of Defense in Ukraine has an interesting theory/update about what could be going on domestically. They say a group of influential people who oppose President Vladimir Putin and who plan to assassinate him are forming among the Russian business and political elite, saying, quote, a part of Russia's political elite sees Federal Security Service Director Alexander Bortnikov as Putin's successor. It is Bortnikov who has recently fallen out of favor with the Russian dictator. The official reason for the FSS leader's downfall is fatal miscalculations in the war against Ukraine. So supposedly Bortnikov and the department that he's in charge of was responsible for analyzing the views of the Ukrainian population and the capacity of the Ukrainian army. It's known that Bortnikov and some other influential members of the Russian elite are considering various options for removing Putin from power. In particular, poisoning, sudden illness, or other accident is not excluded. So this is obviously incredibly dramatic. We caution hesitance for any news like this and pretty much anything when it is coming from Ukrainian intelligence and it paints a picture of a guy who not only had bungled his job, but might soon be in charge, and they say might be the guy responsible for warning the Ukrainian government about the groups coming in to attempt to assassinate Zelensky. That to me, Francesca, seems a little bit too good to be true if you believe this is a path that should be walked down.
Yeah, especially because like Russia poison, like where would they even get access? Like accidents, making stuff like in what they'd have to learn real quick how to do that because they've never done it before against any opposition members or civilians. Yeah, no, that is look, you can't have all the yachts of the oligarchs seized before they're gonna start to get kind of uppity, they're gonna be mad. Putin should have at least been like, okay, look, you come to my $1 billion castle, you hang out, we do boonga boonga. I don't ever want to know what that means again. I've tried to forget it for many years. Like, you gotta, we'll get a bounce house or whatever he promises them to just sort of allay their fears. Otherwise, yeah, they're gonna come for the king. Here's the question. When you come for the king, you can't miss. And so I am very nervous for these people. But yeah, we will see. Yeah. And of course, Putin will probably call it all a State Department op, along with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Funny how.
Definitely. Yeah, just be careful. I've watched a lot of Succession. Just go very carefully. Anyway, what I would personally say is, and again, there's a lot of things that we cannot confirm. This is 7 steps further that nothing can be confirmed. If I was like, this is probably intended. Like, let's say that it's not at all true. It's probably intended to make Putin even more paranoid than he already is, and he is very paranoid. Right. You know who should be paranoid with this out there is Bortnikov. I doubt he likes this being reported by the Ukrainians. Like, no, dude, I'm totally not trying to do this. Everybody back off. But anyway, again, impossible to say. They added though, in addition to this stuff about a possible uprising, that another group, a Russian mercenary group called Liga, is arriving in Ukraine with the goal being to eliminate top military and political leadership of Ukraine, where some other groups previously had failed in that task. So we will see. But Francesca, I saved kind of the most controversial for last. I want your opinion about this.
Yeah.
So big news, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced on Saturday that the country is combining all national TV stations into a singular platform in an effort to combat Russian disinformation. The new platform, called United News, is a national security measure given, quote, the direct military aggression of the Russian Federation, the active dissemination of misinformation by the aggressor state, and distortion of information, as well as justifying or denying the armed aggression of Russia against Ukraine. That is all from a statement from the president's office. Says that this announcement, obviously, which is under a state of martial law, means the suspension of privately owned and operated media outlets in Ukraine. Zelensky said the new platform is critical to tell the truth about the war. So they are obviously in the middle of a devastating war, multiple cities being besieged, a lot of chaos, and obviously a massive amount of disinformation inside and outside of Ukraine. It's a pretty big change though. What do you think about that?
I mean, usually this is a move, right? That embattled leaders who are embattled by their own people and are trying to consolidate power do. In this case, there is a neighboring state that has far more money and weaponry and power that is attacking them. And not only that, has cut off electricity to Ukraine multiple times, has meddled in like their internet access, has done a bunch of stuff. So honestly, in times of emergency and war, I don't see this as some grand crackdown on freedom of speech. It's not like he's cutting off like public access channels of Ukrainians. He's not suspending Facebook. He's not suspending YouTube. He's not suspending TikTok. You know who is? That's Putin. So he's not going after people getting information out. He's actually going after, and oftentimes, especially in countries in the global south, the media is in the hands of a few, I mean, in this country as well, in the hands of a few oligarchs, right? And I don't know who those folks are. I don't know the history of telecommunications in Ukraine. I don't know if those people are Russian sympathizers and or if they are, sort of feeding out a lot of Putin propaganda. I don't want to call it all of Russia, but I just see this move as like, honestly, I think it's a good one. And I'm not gonna say like, oh my God, freedom of speech. The dude has got like 1 million assassination attempts on him. He's defending his country when no one else will. I think we can cut him some slack. If this continues and he's like, nobody can have a news channel except for me, obviously that's cause for concern. But these are extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, when they're literally bombing all the cities. Yeah, I would just want to know that like as soon as the situation is resolved, this should have an automatic contingency for its ending, especially when it's combined with, this weekend. They decided to block the activities of 11 different political parties, saying that, quote, any activity of politicians aimed at splitting or collaborating will not succeed. Everyone must now take care of the interest of our state, the interest of Ukraine. Okay, well, obviously I'm not, the Ukrainian domestic politics expert or anything like that, so I don't know about the history or activities of these 11 different parties. And there are extenuating circumstances. That said, a democratic free country needs to come out of the other side of this as well. That is what the whole point is. That's what international, solidarity with Ukraine is about. It's about saving lives and maintaining the system of government that people are fighting for right now. And so I know everything that you say. Just want to, make sure that they come out of this with the same sort of system of government and press that they did before.
I mean, I don't know. I think that's definitely a bad look and not a good move to say, hey, opposition parties, you are essentially no longer. But at the same time, again, this is an embattled president. I get it, but you need your parties. You need these parties to work with you and support you. But here's what I will say, like, I don't know if I have a standing to say that Ukraine should emerge from this a democracy or else. I think Ukraine.
Well, I'm not saying or else.
But I mean, I think the goal is Ukraine needs to emerge Ukraine. Like Ukraine should emerge from this. I think their goal is to just have a country. I think if you ask most Ukrainians, I mean, I don't know, but I don't think like that their number one concern right now is anything but making sure there's a country to come back to.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.